back from BRB. So they told us to head back to the train station, but it's crossed off from the teleporter. So I think I just need to keep following the path laid out before me and see what happens. I didn't miss a ladder, did I? Nah. Hey Faye, that was a really quick trip to Aldi's, wasn't it? That was a really quick trip to Aldi's. Now that I think about it though, you do live really close to Aldi's. Like literally right down the road. That's gotta be extremely convenient. Gonna run to the store. Oh, I just assumed the store was Aldi's for some reason. What is store RQ actually? I don't know what RQ means. Real quick. Running to the store real quick first. I love this, like, standard alarm noise that's in everything ever. You're equidistant to Aldi's, Lidl, Walmart Market, and Harris Teeter. You are in the grocery store capital of the world. Frayed notebook. A worn-out journal with bloodstains. Golden wings are drawn on the cover. I do not regret destroying the Sanctus statue. I had to stop it from being used for humans. Of course, they'll find another way, but at least those who escaped will find freedom. If I have any regrets, it's just one. God save that child. I came from across the wide ocean, from across the wide ocean. The Aldi proximity to your apartment is crazy short, and it's the best feature. Everyone should have a grocery store in walking distance. I don't live far from a grocery store. I live pretty close to a Food Lion, but it's just far enough to, like, still feel like a chore to get there, and like, just far enough to not be, like, walkable. Like, it's a 5-minute drive, but it'd be like an hour walk. Which is really annoying. Also, I wish it was something besides a Food Lion. Food Lion's not bad, but... you know. I would prefer, like, Aldi's or Lidl. We have a fresh market that's even closer, but, you know, I don't feel like paying $400 every time I want to go buy cereal. A 5-minute drive but an hour walk is a policy failure. I couldn't agree more. I am back at the beginning of the game. This is the station from the beginning of the game. I must be near the end of the game if it's doing a full circle thing. "5-minute walk but an hour drive." Yeah, it fucking sucks. I'm getting angrier the more I think about it. The 2123 train ticket to St. Marion. The text is hard to read because of the bloodstains. You have to cross 55 to walk to the grocery store, but you'd rather do that than have to drive every time. Yeah. I agree. I wish there was, like... I know this sounds insane, but I wish there was a grocery store in the community somewhere. Instead of just, like, an endless sea of houses. Or, like, you know, a coffee shop would be nice. He grabbed me. I'm thankful there haven't been many command grabs in this game because they suck. In every game they're in. Oh, I meant that, and I was being somewhat, like, facetious about it.
Did you feel that? An ergo amplification effect coming from Krat Central Station. I wonder if the alchemists are plotting something again. Please, investigate that area.
Zangief gets points just for being in Wreck-It Ralph. Cool scream in the distance. Very cool scream in the distance. The disparity between Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet might be the biggest, like, drop in quality of all time. They say I am bad guy, but I am not the bad guy. Thanks. Thanks. Let's decay no more. You never thought the second one. Don't. Fucking absolutely don't. Oops, I just let that happen. It's a lot more Disney coded. It's shit coded. I didn't hate it the first time I saw it because I couldn't process how fucking awful it was. It was dated 5 minutes after it came out. Oops. Well, for one, Twitter doesn't exist anymore as it used to when the movie came out, so now the fucking whole scene about Twitter doesn't make sense anymore. It's like corporate. The whole movie is just like corporate propaganda. They're just like sucking off all these internet companies. Like it's not cool like seeing old video game characters. It's not cool to see like, oh, they're going to eBay. Yeah, one, they completely removed everyone's development, that's a good point, and two, they, like, completely ignored that the concept of going turbo was a bad thing. The most heavily established, like, lore implication from the first movie is just totally ignored. Like, at the end of the movie, Vanellope goes turbo, and it's, like, the completion of her character arc. And Ralph is, like, encouraging it. There were, like, jokes that were dated 5 minutes later from that movie, like when Ralph started flossing for YouTube. Oh, remember when he looked at the mean YouTube comments and he started crying? Where am I? I'm getting pissed off thinking about that. Also, like, the title of the movie. It should have been Ralph Wrecks the Internet. What the fuck were they thinking? Ralph Breaks the Internet? Come on. Wreck-It Ralph 3 is just code Lyocurt. Live action Ralph. It's very rare for me to, like, think less of a first movie because of how bad a second one is. Where the hell am I going? I don't know where the exit is. This was... Wasn't this a dead end? No, I haven't been down here yet. Oh, hi. If they make a third one, they have to just pretend Ralph Breaks the Internet never fucking happened. It's completely shit. Yeah, and like the whole thing is like propaganda in general, like disgusting corporate propaganda. But it is worse when they go to Disney.com or My Disney or whatever. And it's just like, look at all the fucking media franchises we own. It was really just disgusting. Like, most bad, quote-unquote bad Disney movies of late, I think are mediocre at worst. They, like, just kind of lost their touch. That one was just wretched, though. Ralph breaks Disney Plus. Ralph gets record low views. Power search rendering everyone completely amnesiac about the events of the prior one. Even if they do that, Vanellope exists in an online game now, so she wouldn't... Like, they can't use that to write her memory away. They can't... I don't know how they bring her back. I guess they just don't. I think they fucked up that character. I think it's beyond saving. Unless they, like... Just make another sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. Just, like... You know, a full split timeline, that one didn't happen. Ignore that that one ever happened. Interesting. This is gonna suck. Let's just try to get it over with quick. Please excuse my dear Aunt Ralphie. The plot is Ralph trying to rescue her after EA buys the game. I think they have to sell the property to someone else. They reboot in a completely different arcade with a different Ralph and Vanellope. That's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. Explore the nature of like how these characters aren't singular. I mean, they kind of did that in Toy Story 2 already, I guess. Remember when Buzz Lightyear walks up to the big wall of Buzz Lightyears? And he's like, wow, I'm Buzz Lightyear. Of Star Command. Yep, there's another scream. Keep hearing them screams. Ralph gets put into a mobile game and like lives in a cell phone. I don't want them to do a movie based off of the metaverse because that sounds wretched. But I could see maybe them doing some interesting stuff with like, oh, there's a living actual human in this game now, and Ralph doesn't understand that. Like, there's like an 80-year-old woman that's in the metaverse and like becomes friends with Ralph, and then she dies in the real life, and Ralph has to grapple with the concept of death or something. Ralph wrecks your search history, featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. And Knuckles. He's spitting. Ergo. Why am I back at the train station again? There were like earthquakes or something, or a big signal coming from here. They said something about... Oh shit, hello. What the fuck is that? Well... Maybe we look over here first. I'm gonna get decayed, yeah. It's okay. As of today, you're down 17 pounds from when you started. Congrats! Congratulations. Weapon durability is getting real low. Easy fix. That's a huge deal. Congratulations. See, that's where I went the first time I played. Down there. The whole area changed. This guy's strong. Murderer Puppet's Amulet. The Murderer Puppet. I feel like most of the puppets have been murderers. Increases damage inflicted on human? Okay. Interesting. Wonder how many humans I'm gonna fight for the rest of the game. Special resistance ampule. We'll come back here. I want to look over here first. Yeah, we can do a nose update soon, don't worry. I checked earlier today, but I think it was before you got here. I've done several more lies since then, though, I believe. No, you're good. You're good. It's worth another check. Let's, refuel. You missed the first hour due to the congestion. That... So do they count as human if they're, like, transformed like this? Sarcasm ass laughter? Did I laugh? Star Scream. Oh, Star Scream. Okay, when I think I've learned that when I look at the chat really quickly and I'm getting like glances, I'm realizing like I'm creating weird words in my head from what your words look like. What the fuck? Does that make any sense? I'm realizing that glances are transforming the words. Yeah, I'm autofilling. I don't like these babies. Star Scream. Master Chef's knife blade, Master Chef's knife handle. So many cool weapons I'm just probably not gonna use. Jane. I know there was a collapse, but why did they have to cut off communication? Please let us out. Well, you're dead now. You are dead now. Yep, saw that coming. What do you say? I thought I was gonna hit him. Most people don't like babies, except if the person you're talking to has a baby, then, oh, of course yours is an exception. Is that Star Scream you're talking about? Is this the way forward, or is this the optional path? There's someone right there. I think this is the way forward. I'm gonna go back and check the thing I missed inside of that other train car. Yeah, it's okay. You can say it's an ugly baby. Don't hold back. It's fine. You can say it looks like a baked potato. Yeah, we got some pretty good pets. You're not allowed to make fun of them. I think this is the train I woke up in. start of the game. This was the special chair, right? They've perfected the greatest puppet. Now, that child again. Yeah, this is the chair I woke up in. Although it doesn't really seem to have much meaning right now. Fucking Chomsky emote, haven't seen that in forever. Oh, he loved his dandelions, he ate all of them. If you ever, like, are just heading over and you happen to see dandelions, please bring some. They're his favorite.
You lost, little lamb. Hand over all you got.
Weasel.
In a city where everything is upside down, the strong rule, not the wise.
Are you strong?
You ought to get to the needy.
You are strong.
To the needy.
I interrupted that. Damn it. Come on. Oh, that sucks.
Stealing from the rich never gets old.
The brightness on your phone is maxed out. Are you just outside right now? You plucking dandelions from a boy? Ah. Lucky Charms. Do I have anything that's like Robber Weasel-ish? Costume-wise? Nah, nothing seems... I don't know, I don't think anything's gonna help me with, this weasel. You're outside with the pup.
Welcome to the city of the future.
Rude.
And the future is death.
I was not expecting that to trigger, the vulnerability.
In a city where everything is upside down, the strong rule, not the wise.
I want to get that backstab. Maybe it's not worth it.
Welcome to the city of the future. And the future is death.
Nice. Come on. Come on, hit! Oh, that's annoying. Well.
I don't want to die. I just wanted a full belly. That's not so wrong.
Well, I feel like shit now. Fuck. Do you wanna... Do you think using AI to assist with character design to make a game is bad?
Please clap.
Like, if I want to try and make a game, should I strictly avoid using any AI programs even if they aren't in the final product? I think using it for reference and inspiration is okay, but you have to put your own, like, spin on it to, like, a significant degree. Like, you could, like, maybe generate some images to maybe get some ideas for different clothing or positions or stuff to see what it spits out and see what you like, but don't, like, actually use those designs. Right? Just like how it's okay to use, like, any other piece of art as reference is okay. As long as you're not stealing what's already stolen. Yeah. And I realize there's some bit of a line between, how much you have to change before it becomes yours, but it has to be transformative. Generate an image and then make a pixel art sprite from that. I would still... Okay, so... I would say that's transformative, but I still think you should put your own spin on the design before transforming it into pixel art personally. But I can see how translating it down to the smaller size is in itself transformative. Like, if someone made that argument, I wouldn't think they're making it from, like, a bad place. I wouldn't think they're being dishonest or anything. But I think personally, I would change the actual design before transforming it into pixel art. Or vice versa. You could, take the design, transform it into pixel art, and then edit that. Which might be more of a digestible thing to do. Total miss. You're not creative and also don't have money to pay people for artwork. Yeah, I mean, it does represent... to some degree, like, this should not replace artists, but it does represent to some degree some level of availability of creative assets. Wow, that was interesting. He, like, manifested pools of decay somewhere else. Because if you work under the premise of AI art is stolen, then as long as it's only reference, it's okay, because it's okay to take regular artwork, get inspiration from it, and use it as inspiration as well. So in your situation, I would probably take the design you like that is generated, and when you're creating the pixel art, at that stage, that's where you add your transformation on top of it. Because if you're not able to, you know, generate your own design that's in the same style or to the level of detail as the generated one, but you can transform it into pixel art, if that's within your ability, then at that point it's within your ability to also fundamentally change it to where it becomes your own. It's not an easy question, because right now a lot of the use of these things is flatly unethical in a lot of the ways people want to use them. But there are ways in which, as tools or as, like, springboards, it's alright. Like, I'm not saying you have to do this, but, like, say for example, if you have a design that you've generated and you're, like, thinking about how you want to change it, I could, like, pull it up and we could, like, talk about what would be, like, transformative. Like, what details would be good to change and all that. That could be a discussion we have. Dark Moon Moonstone of the Covenant. I'm in a bathroom. Oh, look at these urinals. I fucking hate these types of urinals where it's like you're pissing into a hole on the floor. I hate these. I don't see them very often anymore, but I hate these kinds. It feels like there should be something more back here. Since all this, like, blood is leading the way to this. I think the technology, in a lot of ways, is misrepresented in the media and by people who are invested in its success. But I also think that there's maybe a fervor against the technology that's also unwarranted. I have just been really thinking about making a game lately, and the only way I could do it myself would be to use AI to help with art. I enjoy pixel art and I can do it, but I cannot come up with 20 unique characters if I had assistance. What type of game do you want to make? That is the first type of question to start with. In terms of gameplay mechanics, what type of game do you want to make? Like, what type do you want to make? Is it going to be 2D? Is it going to be 3D? The perspective is important, top-down, isometric, first-person, etc. Because if it's more of an action-oriented game, I think using placeholder graphics while developing the proof of concept around the movement mechanics, I think that's more important than coming up with art first. But if it's like a visual novel, or if it's like maybe a card-based game, or a dialogue-heavy RPG, and the narrative is maybe more important than the gameplay to some degree, then maybe you want to talk about art first. But generally, I would think you want to talk about, I found a Trinity door. I generally would think you want to talk about the mechanics first, for most types of games. Also, I really recommend checking out Masahiro Sakurai's channel on game creation. It has a ton of videos covering a wide range of topics directed towards people interested in and making games. And there's a lot of really good videos with lots of really useful information in terms of technical details, organizational details, motivation, presentation, development. Like, he covers everything. I'm currently working for a company that generates AI machine learning products for data analytics, and I had to take a bunch of ethics courses when I started. If you want to hit me up on Discord, we can talk about how to use AI tools in an ethical way. Yeah, that's a conversation that's really important for people to be having right now. As this technology gets more widespread, we have to really talk about how it's okay to use, because everyone's gonna have access to it in various forms, like in the near future. You've been trying to decide between a platforming beat 'em up and a pseudo-Metroidvania-style RPG. Honestly, Faye, I've had my idea for a game that I've been wanting to make for a long time now. I've been beating around the bush on a lot of details. But I have in my head most of the mechanics and most of the story details of what I want to make. I need to make a design document though, and that is like the thing that is key that I keep delaying, is making a design document with how all my mechanics and ideas around level design, all these things are going to mesh together. If you want to like talk about the game, like maybe not now, but like if at some point you want to have a conversation about the type of game you want to make, and I can talk about the type I want to make, maybe we could like come together on it a little bit. Because I know we've talked about that before and it didn't really come through, but if you've like some fleshed out ideas and want to talk about them, I'm all ears. Dylan was talking about something similar earlier. I was thinking of maybe trying to make a Discord chat of people who are interested in contributing to something like this, and just seeing where people can volunteer to create like a proof of concept using the talents of multiple people. Because I really wanted to make something totally on my own. I wanted to learn like art. I wanted to learn music composition and sound design. I wanted to learn how to use all these different game engines and technologies. I've been slowly accepting that I think for the type of thing I want to make, it's beyond the scope of me by myself, realistically. So I think I have to accept that I'm going to have to either scale down what I want to do or actively recruit help from people. I don't really think platforming beat 'em up would be compatible with what I want to do, but I think pseudo Metroidvania RPG could be. I got a fucking electric Mjolnir, or however it's pronounced. The disruption's really bad, that's instant kill. I'm thinking like Hollow Knight with classes for that one. I can, very bright, but more like Rayman. Make a list of all the concepts like you're into, or all the ideas you have with it. I want to talk to you about this, because I do think there's like some level of compatibility here with the kind of game I want to make. Like, there's some middle ground there. Was that path blocked off this time? I don't really want to talk about, like, the exact specifications of what I want to make right now on stream. I don't know why, but I'm not super comfortable with that. I think a part of it, I don't want to be beholden to it. Or I don't want to, like, raise certain ideas into people's minds before I can show something. You gotta learn what a design document is. Basically, you're going to want to talk about, like... You're going to want to talk about the artistic, the technical, and the mechanical aspects of your game. And how they relate to each other. And the narrative, too, if you have a narrative in mind, but that's a little, maybe more optional. You're gonna try and structure everything, break down, like, if you're talking about the narrative, like, a plot, the major beats, who these characters are, an outline of the story overall. It can be in vague terms, too, because obviously you're gonna build upon it. You're gonna want to break down, what platforms you're targeting, what technical limitations you have, what technologies you'll be using. And you don't have to know all of this up front, but just you put down as much as you can. Maybe any timelines you might have, any expectations you have around what's gonna be there in the end. You can put references to other games that you think might be a good representation of what you want to do. You can lay out the mechanics that make your game unique. Describe maybe the pace of the game, how different actions flow into each other, how they affect the world. You can document, like, the controls of the game. Like, you know, what button corresponds to what, that's good to know. It's an iterative process, too. You're not supposed to, like, make it and be done. It's like you put what you have, what you know, and then work on it from there. When can we expect the Synmyn game to drop? Any second now. Any second now. Any day now. I'm working on it. I'm not actually working on it. There's not going to be a Synmyn game. If I ever make a game, I might, like, throw a little cameo in there, but it's probably not going to be a Synmyn game. You know, I think I think you've coined the term Synmyn. I don't think anyone said that before. Synmyn 64. I've gotten started on sort of documenting all of the different details of what I want to make. I've done like a bunch of prototypes of games, following tutorials from different engines to try and decide which engine I'm going to use. I wish I could say I was going to use Godot because I want to support it, but I don't think it's at a level where I could realistically, like, for my skill level, for me, I don't think I could do that yet. I think, unfortunately, Unity is still the choice if I'm going to make any realistic progress. I could do something in GameMaker too, because that's actually the one I have the most, like, experience with, but I want to... GameMaker 2 is kind of self-contained and it does its own thing. I want to, like, learn an engine that, like, has skills that might transfer between other ones more. Unreal's not an option. GameMaker's not bad, but it kind of like, its skills won't transfer to most other game engines is basically the main thing. The pro of Godot is that Unity's cringe drew a lot of people to it, which has buffed the community surrounding it. Yes, and I'm fully expecting Godot to be a phenomenal choice in a couple of years once the community has contributed a lot to it. Once the features have been built out more by the people who are passionate about it. If I'm hoping I don't procrastinate on actually following through with this that long, though. I feel like if I'm to start today, I can't do Godot, and I have to do Unity. Which is unfortunate. But if I did procrastinate later in my life, maybe even just a year or two, honestly, I feel like a year or two could make a big difference, because Unity really fucked up. They've backpedaled really hard. I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. I don't think they're dying, necessarily, but, it is a little scary to maybe develop for them, because you don't really know what's gonna happen.
I suppose you'd like to buy anything? Sorry, I've been on my own so long, my sales pitch is a little rusty. Hard to engage in trade when you're fleeing from monsters. Even if the abnormal has become normal, the living must live.
Game 1 Unity, Game 2 Godot. Ideally, probably yes. And unlike GameMaker, it seems like a lot of the things you'd learn using the Unity editor would transfer to the Godot editor. There's a few things you'd probably have to unlearn and a few things that are probably entirely different, but the sort of organizational hierarchy that the objects and prototypes have are similar enough between them that I feel like you could move from Unity to Godot. I also feel like because of how Unity kind of fucked up their messaging and their entire strategy, I feel like because of that, I think people contributing to Godot will probably take a lot of inspiration for what they want in it to come from what's currently available in Unity. Because Unity, like, up until the debacle a few months ago, was the indie game darling. It's what a lot of people were used to. You're tied up with ActivityPub, but when I get that to a more finished state, you'll probably want to revisit it. You're talking about revisiting the browser-based Pi game? Yeah, I'd like to see what you have on that, if you'd be willing to show anything. I don't think I have anything out from this. I don't think there's anything from this guy I really want right now. I guess I could get a Legion caliper. Meh. It's just another thing I've been dragging my feet on and I'm always saying I'm gonna do, but I just haven't yet. I have too many things I want to do. I've overextended my interests, which makes it all the more depressing when you can't possibly fulfill them all. And also, it makes it harder to start any of them. But maybe that's just an excuse. You were pretty close to having it work. I don't have much in terms of development, but you thought it'd be cool to see if you could make it work. You're originally going to try and fit it for Newgrounds, but if my site works out, I might integrate it there. I haven't checked out Newgrounds in a little while now. What have they done, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're doing some full circle stuff that's really making it feel like it's close to endgame. Collapsing Crot. You were gonna try and fit it for Newgrounds. Yeah, how is Newgrounds, like, let on since the fall of Flash? Do they have, like, a built-in emulator? I didn't stay up to date with the Flash game scene.
This used to be the workshop's transportation base, close to Krotz Central Station. Maybe that's why the puppets were so hell-bent on attacking the place during the frenzy. But I didn't see it myself. I didn't know the scale of it all. So let's add that earthquake to our list of strange and bizarre happenings in Krot and keep moving.
They have an emulator, but it's a little limited. It doesn't work with everything. So does that mean there's like a... Oh, shit! Oh! Does that mean there's like a back catalog of Newgrounds games that just aren't available right now? I know you can download a Flash emulator locally on your machine, but I feel like that's probably a bit more robust than anything browser-based. A huge chunk of the site just doesn't work. That's sad. I feel like, maybe this is totally, like, off, but maybe a lot of the video-based Flash animations are fine. I feel like maybe things would fall apart more with the complexity of the games. So I feel like maybe the animations were more compatible than the games were. Was that with a love letter? Mason, if you were listening to when I spoke about, like, design document, does that all check out in your mind, or did that all sound like bullshit? Because I haven't done any formal research on it, that seemed like the next obvious step to me. Like, this isn't like a formalized process as far as I can tell. Like, everyone approaches these projects in different ways. To my beloved Gideon, the world is dying. I hear news of the epidemic dozens of times a day. I'll wait for you at the sign tonight. As usual, don't be late, my love. Environmental storytelling. They met up one last time before succumbing. That checks out, but the important thing to keep in mind is that they should be living documents that you update frequently. Yeah. Yeah, you should be versioning the document to some degree. Because, like, obviously, you're gonna run into things you don't expect when making a game. And in the process of even just making the proof of concept or the prototype, or the minimum viable product, or whatever the hell you're doing. You're gonna flesh out the story more as you go, you're gonna flesh out the mechanics. You might have to change your mechanics entirely, because they might not work as well as you thought. The only thing I want to divulge to you right now about the game I want to make is that, the main character, I want to be like a gnome, and he's kind of like, he looks like a garden gnome. He's got, like, the hat pulled over his face, and he's got, like, a big bushy beard. But I want there to be there's a plot point at some point later in the story where his beard gets, like, forcibly removed. And when he does that, you can see his face and upper chest, and he's actually really young and, like, jacked. And no one, like, all the characters the whole game long has thought he's, like, an old guy. And he's never corrected them the whole time. It's just like a dumb visual gag I want to do. Oh, hey, Josh. You came back. I'm still playing. I feel like I'm near the end of the game, but I'm not sure. Shot put. Nope. It feels like it, but... yeah, I guess not, huh? You are behind. You are behind. Oh fuck, I'm not gonna make deadline, am I? Balance crank. I feel like I should wait to answer your question until the ad ends. I don't think you're subscribed, so I don't think you can hear me. I need to get away. The disruption's gonna kill me. I'm fucking dead. I'm fucking dead. So I didn't. I forgot. I'm gonna do it right now. It's the, Azure Dragon Crescent Glaive. Is that the one? What's the Fable like? It's like a dodge backwards? It's probably a counter, right? Oh, that's cool. So what is that? Is that just a dodge backwards? Deflect counterattack. Use in time with an enemy's attack to deflect it and dodge back. Okay, yep. I don't think this is gonna be a good guy to practice the Fable art on. I do like it. But it feels a bit more... Oh, it's based off of... It is based off of technique. For some reason, I assumed it was going to be based off of motivity. It's considered a great sword. Here, I'm going to put a few upgrades on it. And then,
I know my way around.
I'll upgrade it a little bit. I need some ergo. And I'll try it out, in actual combat. I don't need that many, do I?
I know my way around.
I can give it +3. And then it needs a full moonstone. I keep forgetting that I can, oh, I should grab the gold coins. I keep forgetting I can grab, that I can change weapons at any time. For some reason I'm like, in my head I can only change weapons at, like, the hotel or a stargazer or something, but I know that's wrong.
Stalker.
No quartz, right? I have a quartz I could, upgrade. I'll try out the weapon for a little bit. I'm not sure if I'll stick with it, though. That's my Fable slot. Amulet slot. I like the idea of another amulet slot, but I don't have the carrying capacity for another one, really. So I don't think that's too helpful for me. So it's between these other two. I don't want to rely on perfect guards because I'm not great at them, so I think I'm gonna go for another grindstone use. Automatically charges pulse cells when they are discharged. So that's like you have none left and you'll get your one back faster because it'll automatically be charging instead of just when you attack? They're starting to be tough choices. Enhances resistance to status ailments. Yeah, I think I want that one. Oh yeah, Faye, if you're here, I'm gonna do a nose update. I cannot use this right now. The nose is long. There's a little leaf at the end.
Whatever choice you make,
Yeah, I've been lying a lot. Lie or die. Do I want to keep playing for now? Yeah, I want to keep playing. I'm gonna take a BRB. Need to run to the bathroom. I think I want to refill my coffee. I'll be back in a few minutes.